Hey, you guys. Okay, well, I'm so excited to be here. So this is our WISE unit and our SHINE unit for tonight, going over the 5 basic needs, which have you guys ever heard of this before? Have you guys done this before? I should have asked that too. No, Brandy said maybe like a long time ago. But I personally love personality things. I love learning about just like how I can be a better person. And I just really strongly believe that when we as women and as humans and as business owners like know ourselves better, we can better lead and serve other people, right? Helps you relate to other people. It helps you figure out in specific situations your strengths and your weaknesses. And if I've learned anything in Mary Kay, it's that Mary Kay works for everybody, but you have to do it your way. Like you can't be trying to show up in your business as me, right? I can't be trying to show up in my business as you. But if you don't even know who you are, if you don't even know what your strengths are or where you stand, it's sometimes a little bit more difficult to do that. Then we're playing the comparison game and we're trying to be her, and it's not authentic and it's not who the Lord designed you to be, right? And so there are, of course, a million different personality things out there that you could take and you could study. And I would recommend that you do all of them because they all serve their own purpose. But this 5 basic needs I had never heard of until I started Mary Kay. And I'll tell you guys, this changed my marriage. This changed my relationship with my parents. This changed my relationship with my friends. And then, of course, like, that sprinkles over into our business. But it's so awesome. Okay. And so everybody has the quiz. If you're watching even the playback of this and you need the quiz, you can just Google like 5 basic needs and you do the quiz. And so it has like where, words across where you rate yourself 1 to 5 based on what the columns are. Okay. And I'm just going to go through, I'm going to tell you what all the columns are first, so you can see what your highest one, and then we'll dig into each of these individual categories. Okay. Does anybody have any questions first? Okay. Anna is a highest column, number 1. So it's going to be so funny because so many of you are number 1 as the highest column, which I love. And that is love and belonging. Okay, so I'll give you all the titles first so you guys can know. So column number 1 is love and belonging. And then we'll really go through all of these, okay? Column number 2 is freedom of choice. Column number 3 is safety and security. Column number 4 is power and achievement. And then column number 5 is fun and pleasure. Okay, so then you can kind of sneak down and look at your numbers and be like, oh, interesting. Okay, yeah, Brandy, you and all your people are number 1, which is hilarious to me. I love it. And so love and belonging. And you might be thinking like, heck yeah, that absolutely sounds like me. But when we get into this, if you're like, you can still, this isn't set in stone because this is how you tested, right? So you can still like wiggle and figure out maybe what you are. And so characteristics of love and belonging is the need to influence. And this is why you guys are just like the serving team. You are. And so characteristics, love and belonging people are empowered by the influence of affecting another person's heart and or actions, right? Which is all of y'all right here. Dedicated interest to how others think, respond, and operate. Desire to be immersed in heartfelt communication, right? You probably hate like shallow surface area conversations. You want to just be like immediate best friends with people. Physically affectionate, easily demonstrate love. Values relationships that stimulate head, heart, and soul. Progress made through elevating others through belief. And you guys make friends easily. Absolutely, all of you. Motivation of love and belonging types of people is, of course, they're energized by the ability to influence and make a difference. And even from what I've heard of you guys of like why you like to work your business in whatever manner you're working, right? It's just to serve others and to be connected, which of course makes sense. Blind spots of people that are more love and belonging is you guys can be too absorbed and sensitive to the needs of others, right? Which is Brandy for sure, where I have to be like, stop, turn your phone off, okay? Don't talk to anybody. What do you need to do today for yourself? Sometimes blind spots could be oversensitivity, which can complicate the clarity necessary to reach a goal. Maybe you're always like giving and giving and giving, and you don't really know. That kind of distracts you from your own personal goals, right? Love and belonging people find it difficult to detach from unhealthy people or situations. And so trigger words, and this is where, especially in our business, this can come really good with knowing your team members and knowing your customers, okay? And you guys can be taking notes, but I can give you this whole document, okay? So you don't have to feel like you have to like write all these words down, okay? Trigger words would be connection. So maybe you're doing like a recruiting call or a sharing call, you're at an appointment with somebody and they're talking about how they love to connect, relationships, authentic, genuine, caring, loving, community, family. And so, of course, these are all you guys, so you're going to know how to pinpoint this in other people. But listening for those kinds of words in conversation, then you could really like link in of how Mary Kay could serve them or how they could use Mary Kay as a service opportunity to fill this need in their life. Because a lot of times too, what we found is at our normal jobs, you know, maybe if you're love and belonging, you might just be kind of like coming in and getting a paycheck. You know, you might not be feeling like you're necessarily serving in the way that you want to be serving. And it's real. Hey, Samaya, we're glad you're here. And so really thinking through in that recruiting conversation of how could you use Mary Kay, or how could you use anything in your life, right, to be more of a love and connecting? What could we do to fill this hole? Does that make sense? And so you could kind of be listening to that. Samaya, type in the chat which column yours was the highest. Okay. Love and belonging, plan of action questions. Okay, so these are good. What 3 consultants do you believe you can impact the most this month by having heartfelt conversations? So this could be customers if you don't have any team. Yeah, Samaya, I knew you would be love and belonging as well. So what we're talking about right now, Samaya, is yours. Okay, so love and belonging, people just like love to serve, love to encourage, love to inspire, just like exactly who you are to the core. Almost everybody on here right now is love and belonging. And so, but that's a great question. What 3 team members, what 3 customers, what 3 friends could I impact the most this month by having heartfelt conversations? Who could you connect with? How would you feel if, then you could fill in the blank of like whatever situation you're talking about. So this is in terms of like when you're having a conversation with someone who is love and belonging, they are going to be more about feelings versus like thinking or doing. So it's even like communication style, how you could change up like, okay, well, if you made $100 extra a month, how would that make you feel? Versus someone like me, like if you had $100, what would you do with it? Like, I don't really care about the feelings. Like, I just want to do something, you know? And so that's good. And a plan of action question for love and belonging would be, how would that affect your family? Because you guys all probably do Mary Kay, or you have certain things that you're doing and it's like specifically for your family. It's not for you. It's, you know, has nothing to do with you. It's just about how you can give and you can serve and you can show up for others. Okay, those of you that are on here that had the first column, number one, the highest, did that sound true to you? Are you guys like, yeah, you're speaking my language? So funny. I love it. You guys have any questions about that? Okay. So then the great thing about Mary Kay is we learn how to work with other people too, right? Because not everybody is like you. And sometimes that can be really frustrating, right? And so number two, the column is freedom of choice. And so these are going to be characteristics of a freedom of choice person and how you can work with them as well. Okay. Freedom of choice is my number one. Anna said that was her lowest. Yeah. And so freedom of choice, and this gets me in trouble too. And this is how I'm like literally right now, even with the doctor, the other day was like, Danielle, you are so freedom of choice. Like you need to stop because the doctors are trying to tell me what to do. And I'm like, oh, excuse me, I get to make my own decisions, you know? And I'm like, Danielle, they're just trying to serve you. They're not trying to, you know, but it can be serious. Okay. So characteristics of a freedom of choice person, they are empowered by an open agenda. Like they get to call the shots, you know. Does not respond favorably to rules or strict conformity. They have an innate desire to create their own way. They can easily stray from a plan. They love to soar in a positive direction. Desire to control decisions, directions, and schedules. Values mature relationships that don't require constant attention. This is the kind of person where if as a leader, okay, so in thinking of like business or even like management or your other job, a freedom of choice person, if they are being led by somebody who has like very tight restrictions or is like really controlling, they will like easily leave. They'll peace out. And they love to express themselves through creative design. So it might be a little bit more creative. They're energized by options. Okay, so then kind of blind spots of a freedom of choice person. And you're probably thinking through like, you know, friends or customers or team members already that are these people, okay? Blind spots is they can be perceived as being rebellious or disrespectful because they're being trying to call the shots, right? They are negatively challenged by a specific strategy, structure, or tracking sheet. So if you have a team member and you try to help them, you love and belonging people, you're just trying to like give them the path and show them the way. A freedom of choice person, when you hand her that tracking sheet, might be like, yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. Okay. And that's where you'd have to not be sensitive, right? It's not against you. She just is going to try to make her own way first. Most of the time, freedom of choice people do not like accountability because they want to like do their own thing, right? And they operate out of the need to be spontaneous versus being tied down with too many appointments or like a long-term plan. So just coming back to like flexibility. Trigger words, so words to be thinking about in conversation with these kinds of people would be like independence, flexibility, self-reliant. They're very solution-oriented, decisive. These are going to be your people that like sign up on the spot. You're going to say, hey, have you ever thought about doing Mary Kay? And they're going to be like, tell me how you make some money. Oh, I can make my own schedule. Okay, how do I get started? They're going to be your decision makers. They're going to be the ones that they're already telling you what they want to buy before you're even like to the set sheet. You are not even close to closing the party, but she already knows exactly what she wants. And so plan of action questions for freedom of choice people would be like, what do you want to accomplish? And so this would be like even thinking of like the stay-at-home mom who maybe, you know, doesn't have a lot of freedom of choice in her schedule right now because she has little ones running around. But if you were presenting the Mary Kay opportunity, could be a place where she could really win. She could make her own schedule, do her own thing, work when she wants, and still be accomplishing, but still be, there for her family in ways that she needs. A lot of times, freedom of choice people are the D personality, which if you know the DISC, that's a whole nother training we can go through. But they're like usually a little bit more dominant and they just like to be left alone. Okay. All of you guys are like, yeah, that's not me.
Thanks for letting us an insight about you, Danielle.
That's me, you guys. Welcome to my life. Pray for my husband. Yeah. That's funny. I am very freedom of choice. My husband tells me all the time, he's like, you would make the worst employee. Because even when I worked at the dental office, we had this is so crazy, but this is so true. This will be your freedom of choice people. We had these specific days we were supposed to wear a certain color scrub. And literally I would not do that. I'm like, because it doesn't matter. Who cares what color scrub I'm wearing? But they're like, it builds the unity of the office. I'm like, well, that's dumb. I'm not doing it. And I would get in trouble. So those are your freedom of choice, friends. Okay. Number 3. Okay. So column number 3 is safety and security. This is the need for stability. Was this the second one of anybody's? Okay, Lisa. And Amy. Samaya, what was your second one? Let me know. Anna, what was your second one? 5. Okay, safety and security, the need for stability. They are empowered by a stable environment. They're not innately impulsive, usually have to think things through. And this would be, okay, so in terms of leading, if a leader is very spontaneous and throwing stuff at you all the time, or kind of scatterbrained, really not organized, this could make safety and security people really stressed, really anxious. Okay. They value trust and continuity in relationships, feel most confident and comfortable when there's a plan, motivated by the ability to control her own future. Usually these people feel better saving money than spending money. And usually they seek peace, harmonious situations. Lisa, you made a face. Are you more of a saver or a spender?
Depends if there's a Target trip involved on that day.
That's funny. I love it. Usually safety and security people are motivated by a savings account. So in thinking of recruiting, talking about money and how they could build their own stability and their own security for their future. Blind spot for safety and security people would be sometimes they could be too cautious. They have to think through all invitations or decisions and need to be really comfortable before they can roll it out. And decisions are affected by physical safety, not usually spontaneous. So this is the girl at the end of the party, okay, where you ask her if she wants to buy something and she is she cannot make a decision right then. She's going to have to take the set sheet home. She's going to have to look up the website. She's going to have to look up the ingredients. She's going to have to go through the whole process, and then you're going to have to follow up with her probably, which is not bad, but it's just these different types of people. It's not because she doesn't want to buy it. It's because she doesn't want to regret buying it, right? And remember, we have the 100% guarantee. So these are the people, stable and security of reminding them we have 100% guarantee. If you have buyer's remorse, if you end up hating it, you can get your money back, because it's all about the security. And even as a consultant, reminding them of the 90% buyback. Hey, if you start your Mary Kay business and you hate it, or something crazy happens in your life and you need your money back immediately, you can send all your product back to Mary Kay and they'll pay you 90% back. It's having that safety net. So it's being able to explain that to her. Trigger words for safety and security types of people would be like process, step-by-step, order, making things very simple, and consistent. So I really love safety and security people because they are just like the steady Eddie people. They are great customers. They are great team members. They're just going to stay in their own lane, work consistently, encourage, show up. But they're going to be like the peacemakers, Plan of action questions for safety and security kind of people would be something like talking about money. So what is your financial plan this month to add money to your savings account? So in terms of recruiting, this could be like, what would you do if you made $100 a month and you could save that? How would that feel? Then what's your plan to make that happen? So like if you have a team member and she's working through, okay, this is my goal, I'm going to save this much money, or I'm going to make this much money for my family. Okay, so what's your plan to make that happen? And then the great one is, what's your next step? So out of your plan, this is where we are, what's your next step? And then it's kind of building that ladder, building that stepping stone path for her to get from here to here. Okay. Number 4, so the 4th column is power and achievement. This is my other second one. So my freedom of choice and power of achievement are the same. I was the same for both of them. This is the need to conquer, the need to achieve. This was Brandy's second one, right? Yeah. Okay. Characteristics of power and achievement kind of people is they are empowered by an ambitious heart. Achievement is an urgent calling. They possess a highly competitive spirit, but not always competitive with others. So it can be like a personal inner competitiveness, but they have to be competing against something, and they have to be excelling. They strive to be the best. So that could be number 1, or it could be like the best of themselves. They love to break records and to win. They love the spotlight, appreciation, admiration, and respect of others. They value relationships that challenge her. This is the kind of person where if she doesn't feel challenged, she'll probably leave. Okay. They have great clarity through the process, clears the path with determination. They're not weighed down by crazy stuff that might happen, or by doubts, or by what ifs. And these types of people usually take the lead without even thinking about it. They're energized by the win, of course, but blind spots, so negative things of power and achievement, is they can become too rigid in their leadership or expectation of others. And so this is where all you love and belonging people, right? So you're just like, show up for the team. You love everybody. If me as a leader like came to you and was like, okay, you have to sell $2,000 this month, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do that, you're going to be like, I mean, I hear you, but like, I'm not probably not going to be able to do that, you know? And so powered achievement people, these are the people, if they are not careful in leadership, they will run everybody off because they can think really big, but you got to be able to break it down, right? You got to make sure everybody can see the big picture. And so you probably are thinking of a boss or a manager or a friend who just always ends up running everybody off. And that's because they're just unhealthy or they don't really know themselves. That's why I think it's so important. We have to know ourselves. Blind spots of power and achievement is they don't usually like messy emotions or complicated situations. And they can very easily disconnect and detach from people and situations almost too easily. Where like if something gets sticky, I'm just out. I'm just gonna peace out. I can't control that. I don't want to touch that. I'm gonna go over here and do something that I can excel in, which is not always the right thing, right? That's not always a healthy response. So trigger words when you're thinking of power and achievement people, or you're working with power and achievement people, is they're the ones always talking about breaking the record, moving up, advancing, making more money, winning, abundance. They're the one that's always going the extra mile for no reason, you know. They want to be the best, the first, and have the most. So plan of action questions for this would be like, what record could you break this month or this seminar year that you could add to your accolades? That would be like a Mary Kay question, and these are the kind of people where they're all about action. So these are not types of people you're going to say, how does that make you feel? Because I don't care about the feelings. I don't even want to touch them. I don't even want to talk about them. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. These people are about the doing, about the action. And these people work really well under pressure. So having like a time frame. So, okay, what's your goal? What action are you going to take? Okay, when are you going to accomplish that? Amy said this was her third one, power and achievement. And I don't think this is like, these are not like, number one is who you are, number two is who you are, you know, and the other ones are not. I think at different points and different situations, we really pull from all of these, right? This is like a whole rounded picture of who we are. And sometimes it's just one sliver of us that's not being met that could change the game. Right. And so even if you are a little bit of power and achievement, but you're not feeling like you're achieving at all, that could trickle over into, you know, depression, or into your family, or into your finances, or into like self-confidence, you know, and so it's just good to know. And then the final column is fun and pleasure. This is the need for adventure. So this is an innocent one. Okay, these types of people are characterized by, they're empowered by the party. Okay, these are like your people that are showing up. This is Olivia. Okay, you guys, we've been doing these Zooms with Olivia. Okay, this is Olivia, where she does like crazy all the time, you know. They're motivated by the ability to have fun, to have conversation and laughter. I would say probably Kristen, if you guys had spent time with Kristen. Kristen's a lot of this one too, fun and pleasure. They don't respond very well to serious, dull conversations. They're not very fun, right? They're drawn to music. They're the ones that are like singing and dancing all the time. They're inspired by the opportunity to experience new things, go new places, see new adventures. They love vacations for the experience, not necessarily for the rest. So they're not going to be just like chilling in a lounge chair. They're going to be up meeting new people. And they're willing to work hard in order to have fun options. They're motivated by laughter. They're the ones that if the room is boring, like they're going to make it fun. They're going to do anything possible to make sure other people are laughing. Okay. Blind spots. These types of people are not motivated by workshops or long trainings unless they are entertaining. And so this is why too, in thinking of the party, okay, we have to hit all the different personality styles, right? You got to play a game so it's fun for those people. You got to give the facts for the step-by-step kind of people. You got to make sure it's a certain time because the other, the scheduled people, they already got plans after. And so it's kind of thinking of this whole well-rounded of hitting all the different personality styles. These people are always on vacation. They're just like scheduling all the fun stuff. You're like, how do you even go to 7 different places this weekend? But she's got it all figured out. Okay. Trigger words for these types of people, of course, is fun, laughter, celebration, party, recognition. These are the people that are like going, for all the earrings and all the parties and all the prizes. And plan of action questions for these types of people would be, what fun vacation could your Mary Kay business pay for you and your family? So in terms of like a consultant, and they're all about the feeling too. So how would that make you feel? Okay. When you're like being able to party, when that's your job, how would that make you feel? When you're connecting with all these different people, making all these new friends, how would that make you feel? And then how could you make it fun and exciting? That's a good question. Okay. Amy said in the chat, she said, I definitely feel I'm number 1 and number 3. So that is love and belonging and safety and security. Yeah. I can see that. What else? So what's like going through your head now that you guys are like thinking about yourself, thinking about other people? Would you have guessed this about yourself? Like, is this like an aha moment for anybody?
Yes and no. Because some of it's like it doesn't seem like it fits, but then some of it does. So
yeah, and we're all human beings, and so no test or no description is going to be able to do it 100%. Mm-hmm. But can you guys really see though how, and even you could think back to different times in your life. And so Brandy and I were talking about this of like even building the house right now, or like thinking back to maybe, when you had a baby or you had a new job, or you had that altercation with that person, of really thinking through like, okay, this is why I was feeling so frustrated, or this is why that season of life was so exhilarating. Because if you are filling your need in Mary Kay, in life, in the Lord, in your family, whatever, then you are like a better, well-rounded person. And I think, again, a lot of times we try to compare, or we try to, if you're like a love and belonging kind of person, but then you see nobody, you're at a job where you work at a desk and you're by yourself, and we're in COVID, we're stuck at home, and you're like super depressed and you think it's you're like, what is going on? But now knowing, if you didn't know that about yourself, of like, oh, sometimes we need to be told, like, I do connect well with other people. I do thrive around people. Of course, that makes sense. And then when you start to go through the emotional cycle of feeling frustrated or feeling overwhelmed or feeling depressed, you can kind of come back and be like, wait, is this external? Is this other people driving me crazy? Or is this something I'm lacking? What can I do to fill my cup so that I am more positive or more motivated or more whatever? Because sometimes it's just as simple as calling a friend, right? And then you're like super connected and super energized again, and then you're motivated, and then you're cleaning the whole house. And you're like, I've been depressed all week. Why? But it's just because that specific hole wasn't being filled. Okay. Hope this was like good for you guys. I literally love personality stuff. And so if you have like, you want to get into this even deeper or like all these other tests, you let me know and I'll be your girl. Okay. But any other thoughts? Brandy, how does this feel going through this as like a brand new sales director?
I think it's pretty accurate. Now I'm scared I'm going to run people off, so I'll be more conscious about it.
Well, and sometimes that's it too, right? Just awareness.
Yeah, like you don't realize you do something till it's brought to your attention.
I don't
And
think you
like,
run people off.
No, but sometimes like I get too excited and just throw up Mary Kay on people that I don't need to do.
We all do that. Yeah. Okay. Well, for the sake of this recording, we can cut it off now. But I hope this was good for you guys. I would love to hear, even, you can reach out to me or Brandy and just like some different ahas. Okay, Samaya said 1 and 5 were running close. And it's so funny how we usually have like 2 that are really close at the top and the other ones are really low. And Samaya, you are so fun. So of course you would be love and belonging and the fun one needing for connection or needing for adventure. But I'm sure you could Google and like go into, a lot more detail about this, but I'll make sure you guys get the link for this little packet. So you can even go through and reread it, think through your questions of like, okay, when I'm connecting with another person or when I'm connecting with a customer, but I would be really thinking through of like, how can I better fill my need so that you can be a better wife, a better mom, a better sister, a better friend. And I think that's like such the grace of what we get to do in Mary Kay is it's all about personal growth first and foremost. And in our other jobs, usually that's not a thing, right? They're going to make sure you're experienced and skilled for whatever job you're doing, but do they necessarily make sure you're a better human being at the end of it? Right. And so I think it's just so valuable that Mary Kay made that such a high priority of our company. And so I hope that this blessed you. I will send back the recording. I'm going to like upload this to YouTube so it can just be like a standing link. And so you can always send it to your future team members or even different customers that you connect with that they love learning about different things like this too. So you guys can have that. Okay.
Thank you, Danielle.
You're welcome. Thank you guys for showing up and for pouring into yourself because it will never go void ever. It will always make a difference. Okay. I love you guys. I hope you have a good rest of your week.
Love you.
Bye. Love you. Bye.
Bye.